Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Ruben Amorim is officially the new Manchester United head coach. And let me just clarify that for you. He is the new head coach. He is not the new Man United manager. There has been a change in the role, but this is what Ineos, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, etc. have wanted to do before Eric Ten Hag already. They wanted to appoint a head coach rather than a head manager so that he can only focus on the football and the football team itself in terms of its tactics, coaching the players, improving them, and working with the young academy prospects that can be brought into the first team, etc. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and of course, let me know in the comment section what do you think about this news of Ruben Amorim officially being the new Manchester United head coach. We also have a game coming up. We are playing Chelsea at Old Trafford, a big game for us in the Premier League based on how we need to start climbing up the table, start getting some points on the board, and start making an attack for that top four, which is our goal in the Premier League this season. Ruud van Nistelrooy will again be in charge of the team at Old Trafford tomorrow, so we'll be talking about that as well in today's video. But for the beginning, I do want to just focus on Ruben Amorim, who last night with Sporting won 4-1 with Sporting's Victor Gyökeres getting 4 goals in that game. And of course, because Ruben Amorim is coming from Sporting to Man United, there are links via Pletigo saying that because Ruben Amorim is coming to Manchester United, there will be a chance for us to go and attack Sporting to go and get Victor Gyökeres at the end of the season, of course, in that summer transfer window. But let's focus on Ruben Amorim first. He has been interviewed last night after the Sporting game and gave a few quotes that, in my book, already puts him in a very good position as the Manchester United head coach. And I certainly was amazed at what he said last night. But I'll get the quotes for you directly. And it started by him simply saying that it was an extraordinary, enticing challenge that I couldn't refuse. He went on to say, I asked Manchester United if it could be at the end of the season for him to obviously join Man United. It was what I wanted. United said no. It was now or never. So I had to make a decision. This is exactly the context I wanted because I can do things my way. And it was put in brackets that the way our club is struggling, he wanted it this way in order for it to be that great challenge for him that he wanted to go and take on. And further on, after he was interviewed, he said, I've had other opportunities. The president, Hugo Vienna, can confirm this. This is not the first or second time I have been requested. After Sporting, I wanted Manchester United. There's a time I have to take a step forward. It was hard. I had to do this. He went further on to say, people say it's about the team. There was another team that wanted me before, and they were willing to pay 3 times more than Manchester United. So we obviously know that West Ham was a team that wanted him before they signed Julian Lopetegui. We know that Liverpool also wanted him and he rejected them. And of course, it was reported widely, in my opinion, that City wanted to replace Pep Guardiola with Ruben Amorim should Pep Guardiola be leaving at the end of the season. But Ruben Amorim himself said that even though those clubs came in and they did want to and were willing to pay his release clause like we have, he only wanted the Man United job. Now that's not to say that he wanted Eric Ten Hag to be sacked. Eric Ten Hag to be sacked. No, it is just him that set a goal for himself that should the Man United job become available, that is the only job that I want, and I will reject all other offers that come my way, which is what he did. And the way Omar Barada basically told him as Manchester United, look, we're coming for you now. It's now or never. That shows how serious we are and how we were about getting Ruben Amorim in as the Manchester United head coach. He was the only one that we interviewed for the job after Eric Ten Hag, and he was the first choice that we wanted to replace Eric Ten Hag with, and we got our man. But what makes this so very, very important, but also vital, and a bit of a romantic side to it, is that he rejected Liverpool and City and he only wanted to be Man United head coach. And that is what he did. He wanted us and we wanted him. That in itself gives me confidence that he really wants to do this and he wants to do well, just like Erik ten Hag. But there is a difference. Ruben Amorim had a struggling team in Sporting who didn't win the league for 19 years. And now he's won it twice in 4 years and brought Sporting to a point where they are one of the top clubs in Portugal yet again. Of course, Benfica and Porto are the only other real competitions in terms of teams in that league. But Sporting were not the team they were until Ruben Amorim came and changed the entire club into what it is now. Furthermore, he said that I had 3 days to decide on something that would completely change my life. It's not the first time that I've had my clause paid by another club, nor the second. So, in my opinion, Ruben Amorim already has won over the Man United fans by just rejecting City and Liverpool and saying publicly that he only wanted Manchester United. So that in itself puts him in a good position to at least have a great foundation, because we are going to back him. I am going to back him fully, just like I did Erik ten Hag, until the last day that Ruben Amorim will be Man United manager. And let's hope, because I want my club to win. I want us to start competing at the highest level, competing for top honors, Premier League, Champions League, etc. This is what I want for our club. So I'm going to back the manager, and whatever he needs to do to the team in terms of getting the players, getting rid of certain players, changing the formation, changing the tactics, we will have to accept it and give him the time that he needs, which I think Ineos will do, because this is their first appointment and it is their appointment, not Erik ten Hag, who was appointed by the likes of Ed Woodward, etc., and Richard Arnold and John Murtagh. Ruben Amorim is Ineos' first coach that they have decided to bring into Man United, and they will give him more time because of that factor alone. So I am excited. It is a bit of the unknown with Ruben Amorim in terms of what he's going to do, but we wait until November the 11th when he does come in officially, and we'll see exactly what he does when he's officially in as Man United head coach. However, if you are not doing anything next week Tuesday, he will be playing with Sporting against Manchester City in the Champions League. So that will be a game that all Man United fans will be tuning into, because we are going to be seeing him up against a team that we, as Man United, under Ruben Amorim, will want to win in the Premier League and, of course, in the Champions League, should we find ourselves doing so. So it will be a very good test for him, but also very good eyes for us to put upon the game in order to see what his tactics will be, how he will set up, and what he will basically do in order to try and win against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. And he knows the Man United fans and, of course, the board itself will be watching this game because of him being the new Man United head coach. So if you're not doing anything next week Tuesday, certainly that is a game for us to watch. But let's move on to the preview now for our game against Chelsea. So Enzo Maresca has come into Chelsea, and I had this feeling last season that with a proper coach, they can start to do well, because they have multiple talented players at the club, good players. Some of them are a bit better than good, great players in my opinion. And certainly with a proper coach, with a proper setup, they can be a very good team, and they are a good team and have started the season well. Yes, they did get knocked out in the Carabao Cup in the week to Newcastle United, but that in itself is not something that I think they would have been focusing on too much. I think their focus is the Premier League, trying to, get into the Champions League and finish as high as possible, like us as Man United want to do. They've had a better start to the season than us, obviously. We are still laying in 14th, and we do need to start winning and get points on the board in order to start closing that gap onto the top four, with Chelsea being that team in 4th place. Now, Enzo Maresca is basically seen as a Pep Guardiola clone in the way that he plays with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. Of course, build up, high, possession, trying to control the game in terms of space, and of course, having players rotate in certain positions in order to find the gaps and the spaces that they can exploit against opposition. So there's not going to be much tactical difference from what we would expect a City team to have against us, but with them being away from home, perhaps they might not want to and will not be on the ball as much. And of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy will set the team up in a particular way for us to dominate like we did against Leicester City. Now, of course, Leicester City is not Chelsea, but we have to be mindful of the fact that we need to win. That is the most important thing. We need to get a win against Chelsea tomorrow so that we can start moving upwards on the Premier League table, as I continually reiterate. So Chelsea in itself, as we know, Cole Palmer is their main player and, in my opinion, their best player and most creative player, obviously. We know the likes of Nicholas Jackson, we know that Noni Madueke, Enzo Fernandez, etc. They have players that are able to cause problems to defenses on their day, and of course when Chelsea do have a very good game. Of course, Pedro Neto as well has given us trouble in the past when he's played for Wolves, another player that we should be able to look out for. But I do think that Chelsea are not going to come to Old Trafford as confident as they were a couple of weeks back. We will have more confidence because of the game we played against Leicester, but also because of Ruben Amorim coming in, the new head coach. And of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy will get the team fired up for this particular game because he knows how important this game is. He knows how important it is to have Manchester United win games and have positive results with good performances. So for me, as a starting 11 that I would go with, I know Ruud van Nistelrooy, played a 4-4-2 in the week, but this is the team I would go with in terms of a 4-4-2. Onana, of course, returning into goal. I would have Mazraoui at left back because he did quite well, being that third player when we are trying to build up from the back. He was very good at being the left centre back, so to say, but also drifting inwards into the midfield, creating that extra passing option. He's very, very good at doing that, much better than Delot, in my opinion. So he will be at left back and Delot be at right back, with Martinez and De Ligt being centre back. I think that would be the back five. In the midfield, I think he will go again with Casemiro and Ugarte, who did quite well in the Leicester City game. So I think he will continue to play that. And you're not going to drop Casemiro after that performance. Same with Ugarte as well. So I think they will start as that two in midfield. On the left-hand side, I do have one particular thing that I've changed. I know Rashford plays on the left-hand side, but has been put on the right-hand side in recent games and hasn't really produced what we know that he can. So with Garnacho being on the left-hand side against Leicester City and the previous game, I think he will start on the left-hand side. And I, in my opinion, will start Amad Diallo on the right-hand side because he holds the ball much better. His passing is much better. And his ball retention is what we are looking for if we want to hold possession against this Chelsea team, who will try and probably do the same. We need to dominate possession. So bring in a Amad Diallo, who's very good at finding space in between the lines. Of course, very good at taking on his man. And he's also very, very good at holding on to the ball and driving forward because he knows exactly what he needs to do when he's found himself in certain situations, as we saw when he came on against Leicester City. So I think he should be starting this game on the right-hand side. Hopefully he does so. The two up front, I would want to see, of course, Bruno being that second striker, trying to, be that creative outlet like he was against Leicester City. And, of course, Højlund returning to the starting 11 up front, being our most out-and-out striker, because Xerxes, in my opinion, will drop too much, thus not providing that outlet that we need up top in terms of getting balls into the box and, of course, running in behind to stretch the Chelsea defense in order to make space for the likes of Bruno, Amad, etc. would look to like to play in between the lines. That's the team I think Ruud van Nistelrooy should go with against this Chelsea team, who I think we should be able to beat. We are playing at Old Trafford. The spirits are high with a new coach, Ruben Amorim, coming in, of course. And, of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy, wanting to show himself and, of course, ensure that the team comes out with good energy, with a positive mindset, and, of course, wanting to go out and win the game. Not just entertain the Old Trafford crowd and us watching around the world, but we also need to be mindful that we need to have good performances in order to get good results. We need a win against Chelsea. That is the bottom line of it all. But thank you for joining me in today's video. Of course, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you for watching the video. And of course, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the game. Ruben Amorim is officially the Man United coach. And that in itself is something for us to look forward to when the 11th of November does come around, which will be quite quick after that game against Leicester City. We do have something very, very, very big in terms of what is going to be in terms of change at Manchester United. But we have to embrace it. This is the way of the world. This is the reality that we are in. We need to back Ruben Amorim until his last day and hope and pray that he does turn around Manchester United fortunes for the better. Have a wonderful weekend, Red Devils. Enjoy the game. Till we see each other again soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.